Chapter 10. Discipline or Death. In the free fall of faith, I almost fell to my fate. I got so close to seeing death I got a glimpse of the gates. Since Frank lacked a father who could provide guidance throughout his life, he felt he was walking down a self-inflicted, suicidal path after high school. At the time, this destructive route was the only path he saw. Neither his mother nor anyone else around their home could grant him the discipline needed to survive after high school. His high school diploma gave him access to the real world, but he automatically knew he wasn't fit to survive. He felt he didn't have any skill sets relevant to any jobs in the workforce. During his childhood and adolescent years, all he knew was how to eat, sleep, and breathe into existence what it took to take care of his family, not himself. He found himself at a fork in the road between discipline and death. Discipline was a characteristic vital to his survival, but did not exist in his upbringing. So he turned to the one place where discipline would always outweigh the uncertainty camping on his conscience: the U.S. military. The journey to your treasure is packed with defining moments. They act like quick-time decisions that pop up into your mind, like your conscience on both shoulders. One preaches discipline, and the other preaches death. When you know you lack something, you must accept it by choosing discipline. This is the only way to fill the gaps of your vulnerability. So don't be afraid to speak into it. You're choosing death if you don't, and your ignorance will outweigh your intelligence if you continue to ignore it. Please don't give the ignorance in your imagination the ability to define you during these pivotal moments in your life. You don't have to know everything, but you do need a presentation about yourself that allows successful individuals to want to pour more into you. You will not erase your vulnerabilities by faking it till you make it like the world made you think. You get it by being honest with those who have the knowledge to change your life, and expose your vulnerabilities so they can build you based on the wisdom they have. His branch of choice was the U.S. Army. He felt it was the only branch that would accept him without highlighting his academics. He focused more on providing for his family instead of spending time studying and earning the best grades he could in school. He signed on the dotted line, confirming the risk he was willing to take. He didn't fear for his life when he left the military. However, Mother Carrie was filled with fear, because none of her children had ever been that far away from her umbrella of security. When Frank left for the military, Mother Carrie was a nervous wreck. She thought she had lost her world. Frank was the one who took care of their family, and she feared the thought that he might not return. Mother Carrie still supported her son's decision because she believed in his vision, although she couldn't see it in high definition from a single mother's perspective. The biggest gift Belinda gave her brother was the security of eliminating the evils of the world he never saw, because they couldn't survive beyond her defensive barrier. She sacrificed scholarships to stay home and take care of Mother Carrie. Regardless of the cost, Belinda didn't allow anything to disrupt her brother's tunnel vision for their family legacy. He was stationed at Hunter Airfield in Savannah, Georgia. He was assigned to the 24th Infantry Division. His group trained for instances where their deployment unit assisted when reinforcements were needed. His team went to Fort Greely in Alaska and 29 Palms in California to train as a deployment unit. This was the transition that forced fear into his military career. He feared for his life because he understood that anything could happen at any given point in time, since he was part of a deployment unit. After enduring bad weather training in Alaska, it isolated his mind from what he was used to seeing because the moon and sun switched places every 3 months instead of every day. Frank was surrounded by the company of his unit, but he felt the vibrations of loneliness echoing in the trenches of his soul. He wrote letters to his mother in an attempt to appease his internal loneliness, hoping that the safety net from home would capture it before drifting out of reach. This was the moment when, for the first time, he and his mother exchanged phrases like, "I miss you," and "I love you." although this wasn't how his family was accustomed to communicating with each other. Frank wasn't attracted to any specific leaders while in the military. He gravitated towards the leadership in general that the military kept in place. He departed from the Army after 3 years of service because his main objective in the military was discipline and structure. He received an honorable discharge, but his most cherished award came while active on duty, the discipline he originally yearned for. He was awarded the discipline of how to survive in his home country as a token of appreciation for serving his country. Unfortunately, he found himself disoriented once he returned home. He didn't know exactly where his life was going, but he still brought maximum security home from the military. A real, full-grown man was finally in his mother's home, but most importantly, he was still alive.